Hi guys, my name is Yash. I'm a ECBA certified business analyst, and today we'll be continuing with our 28th question for the BA interview series. So, what if an interviewer asks us, tell us more about MoSCoW method? So, I'll answer. The MoSCoW method is a prioritization technique used to categorize requirements based on their importance and necessity for the project. It classifies requirements into four categories: must have, should have, could have, and won't have. As a business analyst, I use MoSCoW to ensure that critical requirements are delivered first, especially when there are constraints like time, budget, or resources. It helps in setting clear expectations with stakeholders and focusing on delivering maximum business value in each phase. In my CraftCart project, I used MoSCoW to prioritize features. For example, functionalities like payment processing and order placement were treated as must-haves because they are essential for platform to function. Features like payment retry and real-time inventory validations were categorized as should-have, since they have significantly improved performance but are not basic requirements. Enhancement like advanced UI features were considered could-have, while some non-critical ideas were placed under won't-haves for initial release. Overall, MoSCoW helps in structured prioritization, better planning, and ensuring that the most important features are delivered first. I'll give you one more easy example of MoSCoW method. Just a little bit. As you can see here, this is the ATM feature prioritization. Okay, so the must-have in the ATM feature should be withdraw cash. The most important thing: if we don't withdraw cash from the ATM, there's no point, right, of ATM. Check account balance, PIN authentication. Should have would be print mini statements, language selection, and receipt option. Could have would be touchscreen UI, voice guided assistance, cardless withdrawals. These could have can be done afterwards, right? These are the requirements can be done afterwards, not compulsory to be done in the first MVP phase. Won't have for now would be crypto withdrawals, biometric login, international remittance. Right now, it's not required, right? So these are the won't have. So I think it's very evident and easy for you to understand right now with this example. If you want, I can give you one more real life example. For example, the example which I always give, that is a food delivery app. So for a food delivery app, the must have would be user login and payment system, right? Without that, you cannot log in the food delivery app, so there's no point. And without a payment system, you cannot do the payment, right? Should have would be real time order tracking. Okay, it's very important to have that. The should have. Could have would be dark mode features. Dark mode features is, you see, in the MVP phase it's not required. First, for the testing phase, MVP phase, user logging, payment system, real time order tracking, that's it. I think these are enough, so that's why they are in must have and should have. And won't have would be AI food recommendation for first release. So in the MVP phase it's not recommended to have all these features goggled up because it can, delay the sprint time. It can delay a lot of things, right? So it's not important at that time, at that moment of time. So right now the must have is user login and payment system, and should have is real time order tracking. So MoSCoW helps in prioritizing requirements based on that importance. So it helps team focus on the most critical feature list. As you can again see in my CraftCart project, I use MoSCoW to prioritize features. For example, functionalities like payment processing and order placement were treated as must-have, right? But without that, if you cannot place the order, there's no point, right? Because they're essential for platform to function. Features like payment retry and real-time inventory validation were categorized as should have. Payment retry if payment is not if payment is failed, so the retry option, real-time inventory validation are very important. So that's why they have categorized in should have. Since they significantly improve performance but are not basic requirements. Enhancement like advanced UI features were considered could have, right? Advanced UI features in the MVP phase are not required because in the MVP phase it's all about how the website is functioning, right? It's more about the functions of the website. This can be done in the later phase, that's why it's in could have. While some non-critical ideas were placed under won't have for initial release. Non-critical ideas can be anything like AI implementation. All these things in the MVP phase are not important. So that's why MoSCoW as a prioritization techniques helps in that case. So I hope you guys understand this MoSCoW prioritization technique, and thank you so much for watching.